y'all. This is Jenny, and I am very grateful to have the honor to present you this workout today. It is a very meaningful one because it is in honor of my son, Landyn, who went to heaven when he was 1 year, 9 months, and a week on April 15th of 2018. So thank you, Derek and family, for allowing me to be able to write this workout and have y'all do it with me. So let's get things started. Right here is going to be the workout of the day. So you start out with 7 up dog to down dog, and I'll explain all these movements after. Then you're going to do 8 pike push-ups, then 16 jumping jacks. So if that takes me 1 minute and 11 seconds on the clock, I'm gonna wait until the top of the next minute. So when the clock hits 2 minutes, I'm gonna start 4 rounds. So that would mean if I finish at 1 minute and 11 seconds, I have 49 seconds of rest before I start my 4 rounds. So every single round consists of 9 minutes, excluding the last round because we're not gonna rest the 2 minutes before the finisher. So once your 4 rounds start, you have 7 minutes of work of doing as many rounds and reps as possible of the 400-meter run. Then you come in, you do 9 box jumps or step-ups, 7 pull-ups, and 4 push press. You do that as many times as possible in 7 minutes. And then once that time runs out, you have a rest of 2 minutes in order to prep you for your second round to go hard on that second round. For your second round, you have another 7 minutes of work. Then you have a rest of 2 minutes. Then you go back for a third round of 7 minutes of work, rest for 2 minutes. Then you have a 4th round of 7 minutes of work. After you do the 4th round of 7 minutes, you're gonna skip this 2-minute rest and just go straight to the finisher, which is 4 burpees, 15 squats, and 18 push-ups. So the total amount of time for your workout is 28 minutes of work with 6 minutes of rest, plus however long it takes you to do your buy-in and your finisher. So the warm-up for today is you start out with 30 seconds of jogging in place, 30 seconds jumping jacks, 30 seconds high knees, 30 seconds butt kicks, then 30 seconds of skipping. You can do that in place as well. After you finish that 2.5 minutes, you have 3 rounds of doing 10 slow lizard lunges, 5 inchworms with a push-up, 5 5-second malasana squats, and 10 plank shoulder taps.
Jeez.
So for running in place, just get your knees up, run as fast as you can. For jumping jacks, you have your jumping jacks is hitting overhead, or you can just lift your knees up high. For your high knees, you're getting your high knees up. Then for butt kicks, you're trying to bring your heels all the way to your glutes. And you're trying to do it quickly. Then skipping, we can skip in place, or you can travel a little bit. Just really focusing on getting up as high as you can and driving through your toes. Then we have the 3 rounds of your slow lizard lunge. So what that is you come down into your plank. You're gonna bring your foot as close as you can to your hand, to the outside of your hand. My back knee is going to be down. My chest is pulling forward and I'm pulling my belly in. My hips are pressing forward. And I'm just going to hold this for 3 seconds, then switch sides. And you're gonna do 10 total. Then you have inchworm, so start out standing, then you walk all the way out to your plank, do your push-up, and then inchworm all the way back. So we can also do it where we come down, put our knees on the ground, push up, then walk back. Our 5-second malasana squat is just going to be getting as low into a squat as possible, having our elbows press our inner thighs apart, holding it for 5 seconds. Then you can reset, and we're gonna do 5 of those. The last one would be plank shoulder taps. So I can be in a regular plank, tapping opposite shoulders, or have my knees down, tapping opposite shoulders. And I'm gonna do those 4 movements for 3 rounds, and that's the end of the warm-up. For up dog to down dog, what you do is you come out to your plank, you have your hips drop towards the ground, the very fronts of your legs are going to be on the ground, your mat, wherever you are. Your chest is pulling through your biceps and your shoulder blades are pulling back, acting as if you have a pencil between your shoulder blades. For down dog, you're gonna press through your hands and your toes, press your hips all the way towards the ceiling or the sky if you're outside. Your ears should be right at your biceps, and you're trying to get your heels towards the mat, stretching the entire posterior chain, the whole back of your body. That's 1. Then you come back to your up dog, squeezing your glutes, having your chest come all the way through, and then back to your down dog. Next, we have pike push-ups. So you are going to form more of a triangle with your hands on the ground. You're not going to be the distance, you're going to be closer than what you would for plank, because out here I would be for plank, but I'm going to step it in about 2 or 3 steps, and my elbows are going out, my head's coming towards the ground. So it's more of your triceps, and your hips are over your shoulders more. And then we have your jumping jacks. Just a reminder, you can scale your jumping jacks to here. So we have either a 400-meter run. If you're not going to run, you can either do a 500-meter row if you have a row machine, an 800-meter bike, or a 200-meter walk with high knees. And you can make that a little bit more difficult by adding weights. So if you want to add weights, I have dumbbells, and I'm just going to walk 200 meters lifting my knees. If I don't want to do that, then I'll literally just walk with high knees. After that, for box jumps, you can do box step-ups on a chair or a step ladder or a box if you have it. And then just make sure whenever you're at the very top of your box, you are fully extended and your hips are completely open. So you're not going to be finishing like this, you're finishing completely straight, standing up. For push press, if you have a bar, you can use a bar, or you can use dumbbells. So I only have dumbbells. So once you deadlift your dumbbells off the floor, you're going to clean them up to your shoulders. And if you look, my elbows are slightly in front of my dumbbells, and the back of the dumbbells are resting on my shoulders. So my elbows are going to be up a little bit more. What you're gonna do, the push press only has 1 dip. So with my feet hip width distance apart, I'm going to dip straight down, acting as if my back is against a wall, and my knees are going to be going out to the side. Then once I completely extend is when I press my dumbbells straight up. When the dumbbells are up, my shoulders are really active, so my elbows are not bent. Then they come back down to where my shoulders are. So again, I dip, after extension, I press, and that's 1. For pull-ups, if you're like me and you don't have a bar at your house, we have different variations. The very first variation that we can do is if you have a sturdy door and any type of soft cloth belt, you can wrap the belt on the door handles. And so these would be called door rows. So you would come back, have your feet on the ground around the door. The more I lean back, the harder it's gonna be. I'm gonna stay straight, acting as if there's gonna be a board along my back and my hips. And I'm gonna pull myself closer towards the door. The next variation of a pull-up we have is if you have a hard floor, you can put a blanket on the floor and lay on top of it. You're going to squeeze your glutes, have the inner parts of your legs squeezing together, staying nice and tight like you would for a pull-up. And then you have your arms extended over your head with a slight bend in your elbows. From here, you're going to press as hard as you can from your fingertips all the way down to your elbows and pull your body forward. The closer you stay to the ground, the harder it's going to be. To make it a little easier, you can lift up your chest off the ground and pull yourself forward and then press yourself all the way back. To make it harder, you can take the blanket out from underneath of you. Another variation for a pull-up we have is on a door frame. So you're going to put your hands right on the opposite side of the door frame. Your hands are going to be shoulder height, and you're going to come walk your feet out. The further I walk my feet on the other side of the door, the harder it's going to be. I'm going to still have the imaginary board on my hips and my shoulders, so I stay straight, squeezing my belly in. And without leading with my hips, I'm going to pull my shoulder blades together. My body's going to come up, then I'm going to come back down. For a burpee, you have your regular burpee. You come down, your chest hits the floor, you come back up, and you jump. Or we have a different variation. You come down, you lunge back, then you lunge forward with a jump. You can also do it with an elevated surface. So you put your hands on a chair or a sofa or anything, you lunge back. If you want to add a push-up, you can add a push-up and lunge forward to stand up. For air squats, our feet are shoulder width distance apart and our chest remains up the entire time. So as my hips go back, I'm going to come down, I'm going to break 90 degrees, and my knees are going to be in line with my toes. My chest is still up, then I come straight up. Next, we have the push-up. So whenever I come down into my plank, my elbows are going to be going back as I go down, and then I press up for my push-up. We can also do them on our knees. Still, elbows go back, and then I press up. So for some cool down stretches, if you have a cloth belt or a band, you're going to wrap the belt around your foot. You're going to have it right at the ball of your foot. You're going to come down, you're going to lay down. So since the band is on my right foot, only my right hand is going to be on the band, and I'm with my back of my left leg on the ground. I'm going to pull my right leg as straight as possible, as close as I can to the floor behind my head. And I'm going to hold it there. And then you can hold this for 45 seconds to 60 seconds. But right now I'm just going to show you the movement. So that's the first one. After that, you're going to bend your knee, have your knee go to the outside of your ribs. So the very sole of your foot should be facing the ceiling or the sky above you. And still the band is in my right arm. After you hold that, you're going to take your right foot into your left hand. You're going to pull your foot closer towards your belly. You're going to take your right hand. You're going to press your thigh away from you. So you should be feeling it in your outer hip. You can hold this for 45 to 60 seconds. After that, you're going to straighten your leg out again, holding it in your right hand. You're going to open up your leg to the side. When you do this, you don't want to come laying over, so now your glutes off the ground. You want your left glute to still be on the mat and your shoulder blades as well. After you're done holding that, you're going to cross your foot over your body. Keeping your right shoulder blade on the ground, you're facing the right, but your right foot is going towards the left across your body. Then you're going to do all that on your left side. After that, you have a butterfly stretch to release the tension in your lower back. So you take the soles of your feet together, and your knees, you want to try to get them as close to the ground as you can, and you're going to press your chest forward, keeping a straight spine. After you hold that for 45 to 60 seconds, you also have a stretch for your lats and your chest. So you can get on any door frame, put your hand at shoulder height, have your arm have a little bit of a micro bend in it, and then start twisting your body. You're going to start feeling it pull in the front of your shoulder and your chest. And then you're going to go in the opposite direction to where you are pulling away from you. So just so you can see, if I switch to my left arm, if I do it this way, my shoulder's not in my ear, my shoulder's going to be pulling down. And now it's going to be pulling the back of my lat and the outside of my shoulder. Thank y'all so much for watching. Good luck today, and I look forward to seeing how the workout goes.